Give it. Yep, Rondo on the tip. Bryant left-handed gets it to go. Bryant comes away. Kobe Bryant for three. That's good.
Shot by Fisher.
There's Bryant. Allen guarded him in the first half in game 4, then Pierce in the second. Nice move. And just like that, the Lakers.
The reason why I would disagree with this is their best lineup because we witnessed what James Posey did the other night. His impact, stretching the floor, and then defense.
Bryant hits a three. Over and over again, just good things happen when he posts up.
Oh, if I'm a coach against the Celtics, I understand Kevin Garnett is a superior player. If he's going to beat me, it's going to have to be from the perimeter.
Kobe Bryant fires away. That's good. And
we're witnessing outstanding defense on both ends of the floor. That was solid D by Odom on one end, contesting and keeping Kevin Garnett in front of him, forcing him to take a tumble.
Bryant looking. Two-pointer. That's good. Lakers back up by.
Go to the rim without help.
He did it at the end of game 3 and had a couple of big buckets with Ray Allen, the only man on him. Bryant against Pierce. Drives in. Here's Garnett. Bryant puts it in. Top shot. And it's a.
Make Rondo a score. Stay disciplined. He doesn't, and Posey steps into a rhythm jump.
Kobe Bryant to the basket. Hard drive. Left-handed. Pretty from Slovenia now in his 4th year. Having his best season by far. Plays with so much passion. They love him here in L.A. And when you talk to him, he is such a delightful young man to talk to. But on the road, opponents' fans can't stand him.
Tell you what, if you're Phil Jackson, Lamar Odom, Pau Gasol have to show up and begin to play like the 2-3 slot guys that they are for the Lakers. They can't just allow Kobe Bryant to take over the ballgame. They are needed.
Allen on Bryant. Kobe Bryant banks it in.
There's no help along the baseline.
Ray Allen, the main offensive weapon here in game 3 for the Celtics. Gasol. Allen gave him that 3. Shot clock is 5. He wants a better look. Gets a better look. And puts it in. A 7-time All-Star. And having an All-Star type game with 22. 5-point lead right now for Boston. Kobe Bryant spinning. Oh, what a sensational move. Score off that inbounds. So a 5-point game. Bryant on the drive. Shot clock at 5. On the pull-up. Puts it up. Puts it in. Kobe Bryant.
I'm not leaving here tonight if I'm the Celtics and not trapping him right now.
Garnett calling to Ray Allen. Bryant gets it up in the air, puts up the shot. Shot rolls in.
The reason why Phil Jackson goes to him, he's an outstanding defender. He's going to make Pierce work.
And Kobe Bryant,
There's only one guy you can put in the conversation, and that's Larry Bird, because of what he's able to do on the offensive end. But Paul Pierce is as good offensively as Bird.
You can also put in Kevin McHale into that discussion.
You cannot. It's Bird and Pierce.
Bryant knocks it down.
The ability.
6:28. Celtics with an 8-point advantage. Nearly 5 minutes gone by here in the second. Bryant again, hand in his face, and nails it.
That's where the other guys on the floor have to say, hey, he has the hot hand. We're going to make him selfish. We're going to give him the basketball. And that's what Pierce did the prior play.
20 points in 23 minutes. Bryant calling for it. Looks up at the shot clock. Pierce guarding in. Kobe Bryant nails it.
Jackson has gone back with Kobe Bryant, and now it's a 5-0 run for the Spurs.
Nice pass from Parker to set it up for Duncan. Here's the crossover by Bryant. Finishes with the reverse.
He's done. He's going with him instead of Ori. Kurt Thomas on the game now 3 of 4, has 6 points, and done a nice job on Odom, keeping him off the boards.
Kurt had not played much in the series, only 57 seconds, and in game 4, that was it. Here's Bryant. Beautifully done.
Making Los Lakers, and then Ori compounds it with the foul.
For the Spurs, their 4th team foul. Brent Barry, who played well in game 3, has come on, so Popovich going to his bench very early. Bryant being played now by Ginobili. Goes to the step back. Bryant. Kobe now 0 for 4 from the field. Bryant, yes.
Spurs still have not been able to take.
Replacing Bowen. Walton a 70% free throw shooter during the regular season. Ivanovic with the save. What a play going behind the back. And it gives the Lakers an extra possession they can hold for a final shot of the half. Ginobili defending on Bryant. Does not want to pick up a third. We're down to 5 seconds. Down to 3, 2. Bryant, yes, with 1 second left. Try to bank it, but the shot went too deep.
I'm seeing more screen rolls from the Spurs tonight than I saw in Game 3.
Bryant with a strong move.
Look for him to try to get him a quick field goal here on this possession, just to get the lid off that basket.
And here's Bryant. There it is. Kuriev, Walton, and Bryant up front with a backcourt of Vujacic and Farmer. Here's Bryant getting inside. The Spurs with a 33-30 lead. Bryant, yes. A bad back, and he has been out of action for quite some time. We have not seen him on the airwaves, and I certainly hope to see Bill back up in front of the camera in short time. Here's Bryant for 3.
Right before the half was over, this half was starting, and he said, we've got to come out the first 5 minutes. We can't be flat like we were the other nights. And I think Kobe Bryant starts to get out of the corners.
Lakers have not lost here at home since back on March 28th. As it turns out, they lost to the Memphis Grizzlies. And going back to the regular season, Lakers have won 17 of the last 20 here at home. They're 6 for 6 at home in the playoffs. Bryant on fire. Spurs at home during the regular season won 34 of 41 games, tied for second best home record in the West. Utah, at the best, they won 37 of 41. Kobe Bryant is back, showing the jab step.
Much all year. We've seen it twice tonight.
That has been such an effective shot to Tim Duncan over the years. Bryant behind the back, pulls it back. Oh, what a move. Going.
Bryant goes up and snatches the rebound away. His 7th to go with 6 assists, 20 points, and a sync up with a shot in game clock.
Trying out the foul now. The big thing is make him make the field goal.
Millsap came over to make it a tougher shot. Too bad. Close. There's 4:45 left in the first quarter.
Why you never give up on an NBA game. If you can defend and take care of your defensive rebounding, you got a shot.
Bryant wants it. Does he take the shot this time? No, turned away by Hartbrink.
Oh, Hartbrink played him well last time.
How about a shot now?
That's what he does.
And Hartbrink will guard Kobe at the other end. Bryant the drive.
No! Shooter. Every coach will tell him that. Go for the block. He went for the block because he caught him right across his arm from his wrist out to his elbow. Unfortunately, with the body hitting all.
Walton the rebound to Vujacic. We get close to the T-Mobile halftime report. Back in the studio with Stewart, Michael Wilbon, and John Barry. The improbable journey of DJ Benga. Fave 5s from the guys in the first half analysis from Salt Lake. And the Lakers tie it, even with 10 missed free throws, and Bryant 5 of 12 from the field. Yes, they do! Kobe Bryant. And on cue, Boozer answering the call here in this second half. His Utah team has scored the last 6, and they lead by 6.
Mike, that was a beautiful pass.
Bryant is on again. World news or your local news next on these ABC stations. 90 seconds left. Bryant more a facilitator in this quarter. Doesn't have the shot. Sees Korver, puts it on the deck, and gets it with a foul. And the Lakers will have a foul to give when they get the ball, or defense when Utah gets the ball.
Now pick and roll, pick and spot up.
Bryant. No field goals in OT.
Carolico went for the steal, got back in position. Bryant able to get a hoop over 0-4.
Take you strong off the dribble, get in the paint, and the rebounds come off. You're close to get the second chance opportunity.
Bryant driving in, got the bang, got the bucket.
Mike, he is uncanny how he goes away from the ball on the other side of the floor and spots up. He's now 3 for 4 from three-point line.
You can see Bryant is feeling it now here in this second half.
Reminded me a little bit of that duel that we witnessed on TV last night.
Okay, he's got his The MVP with a silencer.
Are still in this game big time. They're only down 10. They can strike in a hurry because right now this guy's putting pressure on everybody.
Got a bump baseline, still went right through it.
It's to 8. Okay, Chris Paul gets his 35, but you come out of there with a win, and you have 5 guys in double figures for the first time in the series, meaning San Antonio.
Bryant draws the contact, gets the basket and the foul.
Late 70s Final Four team.
Sidney Moncrief was the star of that team. Another guy, Marvin Delp, was on that team. 3 terrific college players, and Sidney Moncrief was a great NBA player.
Kobe for Brewer.
You'll live with that. I mean, if he's going to make.
It has been a better second half for Carlos Boozer.
Well, he started out and he got a layup, and that's why you've got to go back and throw the ball in the post to him and let him play down there in the post and play inside out with your offense.
Lakers are shooting 60%, Utah 45% from the field. Kobe Bryant 8 of 12. A game high 23, dancing with Brewer. Doubled by Boozer.
Wow, you know how hard Kobe
with the Lakers, a lot of offside cutting. At the other end, you have like a UCLA set. It's a 1-3-1, and then you'll see cutters, you'll see post up. They gave you the total baggage to try to defend.
Bryant with the first shot, second leading scorer in the race.
Careful. With the first unit, Utah's not a blazing fast break type of a team. But when these guys get in, you know you got to match up with Millsap with a power forward. He cannot fall asleep.
Bryant a 3 and a foul away from the ball.
The free throw line, but he already has 6 rebounds. J.R. Smith has come on, bounced it. Hey, and he missed it. So today, the dunk and the miss, 19-10. J.R. Smith now on Kobe. Kobe fade away. Got it. Off the glass. He shoots the jump shot, and there's no. For the Lakers now. Benga, Odom, and Kobe up front. Kobe, long 3. Got another one. I tell you, his 3-point shoot. Free throws. 88 all, 5:50 to go. Crowd, Pepsi Center standing. This song's going to come back left. Nearly traveling. Can't be the shot. Out to Bryant. Shot clock at 3. Kobe fade away. Got it. So Kenyon decided to stick in the front of the iron. Kobe's got it. Bryant tonight 22 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. He's made 9 of 20 shots. Kobe coming underneath, lay it in. Foul. And then this whole Pepsi Center up on his feet. 6 straight points for J.R. Smith. Kobe fires, got it back. That's a 2-pointer for
league free throw attempts, about 30 a game. Right now at the half, 17 attempts for the Lakers, just 8 for Denver. So how aggressive are they being going to the rim?
And Kobe open on the part of the Nuggets.
It's almost like he has stickum on his hands. And I love Carmelo Anthony. I think he's a fabulous player. But he, as Kobe Bryant, he's going to be the primary defender on Kobe all night.
And they clear it out for Bryant, although Anthony comes over to help. Kobe able to slice his way through. Here is Nene. Farmar putting a move on Carter, then throws back to Vujacic. Bryant, yes! Point, the stats that Marcus Camby puts up. Gasol, not able to hit. Chased down though by Vujacic. They get the new shot clock. Bryant pulls it back, goes at Naharaj, got the step, yes, and it counts.
So, I know there's less than 5 minutes left, but you still got to compete and play hard to try to send a message as you go home.
Plays the defending on Bryant. Oh, Lakers by 16. The conversation continues between
They're getting into
Bryant
it
and
now.
Smith. And here comes Bryant going right at Smith. He scores out.
What conference? The what conference?
Please explain.
Even the president.
I hate laughing at my own jokes. That's a bad sign.
For Quincy Doobie, the 23-year-old from Brooklyn who played his college ball at Rutgers, now in his second season.
Ties his team high there with 12, he and Garcia.
Lamar beating Williams. Kobe setting it up.
There's the spin.
And the finger roll. So Spencer Hawes at 7 even 245 pounds, 10th overall selection in last summer's draft. Kobe for 3. A better elevation.
Udoka has to force it up, way off the mark, and Gasol the rebound.
Well, picture perfect defense by the Lakers. Double team, high hands, flows out to the shooter, active, and then contest and seal a deal with the rebound.
Bryant banks it in.
You know, I think his presence makes Vujacic and Farmer much better basketball players. They understand how to win and what it takes on a nightly basis.
Udoka with physical pressure. Got Kobe Bryant mad for a second. Takes his time backing in. Inside. Tough shot.
And that really puts the Hornets in a bind.
A career high 41 double-double. Stevenson throws up a prayer looking for a foul. With a swing in the step of Kobe. 4-0 Lakers.
Mid-court. You give him a running start, and he does just what he did there.
The Lakers shooting 63% compared to 44%. Now Kobe over Stojakovic. Gets another. Soft touch.
Well, Kobe ran him off the three-point line, but he had space. He took one dribble. He should have tried to take it to the rack.
Kobe's got the smaller player, James, over Mike James. Target practice. A franchise record 26 road wins for Paul. And the Hornets. Bonzi Wells trying to track Kobe. Kobe over Wells. Behind, drives it home.
Phil Jackson gave him that nickname, a reference to Sasha's habit of shooting particularly well in the morning practices, but failing to extend it to games. Ross played 16 minutes in the first half, and then Katina Mobley came out as the starter in the third quarter, so that just adds to that long injury list for the Clippers. But the Clippers, with a 9-2 run, have come back from a 13-point deficit. Shot clock to 4. Bryant, yes.
And this is where
And if Roy sees him on,
He's got a 60% crossover, too.
Yeah.
Vujacic, though, that's where he operates, behind the three-point line. Here's Kobe against Outlaw. Help there with LaFrenz and Aldridge. Foul going to be on Travis. Score the bucket. Good call.
sure.
Kobe has scored 19 of the Lakers' last 21. And he gets that to fall.
Ramonovich, the rainbow three, no good. And Salmons has it. And he loses it. Bad turnover there for the Kings, Jerry.
Yeah, it was one of those deals where John not sure who was behind him. Unfortunately, it was the Lakers.
100-88. Bryant side pop. Kobe with 24. Well, Kobe Bryant.
And he's one of those shooters where if he makes his first couple, then obviously he gets a lot more confidence. And if he misses one, you can start sagging off of him.
Now Gasol up against Dampier. Kobe for 3. Wasn't challenged on the shot. Took the check off balance. Tripped up. Kobe. 15-foot
Shooter, so you've got to attach yourself to his hip. Easier said than done sometimes, but that's what you have to do.
9 for Webster. As Gasol works against Brisbilla. Middle of the floor, Kobe. And he broke down Outlaw but didn't attack. This time he will go all the way to the hole. Mandy. Back to back. Off it over the rim, and Gasol with a back tap out.
Well, the long shot's going to rebound long generally, and Powell was in a position to touch it.
Kobe on the crossover. A little step through and finger roll. So quickly down to 11. Kobe beating Stevenson. Man. So far this season, Butler averaging 21 points, 7 boards, 5 assists. Kobe! He's been the difference. It was Stevenson early in the game, but Nick Young down the stretch. The Wizards with the lead. Kobe tries to tie it. Man, the rope is...
Bombed out Dresden at the end of World War II. Certainly not ready to go to work for the Convention and Visitors Bureau in Memphis or a lot of other cities. He didn't like Portland either. So
from South Dakota, he hated Sacramento too, didn't he?
He did hate Sacramento. Your centers any day of the week. Radmanovic was 6, so you see the big drop off in scoring for the Lakers from 34 down to 6.
Talked to Kyle Lowry at halftime. He said he did roll his ankle, but he says it feels a lot better. Just could never push off of it in the first half. He says he's ready to go here second half.
Bryant over Mike Miller. Continues.
Back. And Andrew Bynum hopefully. With Lamar on the floor. There better be some communication. Kobe elevated nicely that time.
15 points and those 3 threes he made.
Second free throw down. Kobe wants it on the block on Azubuike. We saw this matchup a little bit last night. Azubuike bothering him on the shot, but with Kobe, there's no bothering him. Lakers, 4th in field goal percentage defense in the NBA. They have locked up the Warriors here in the second half. 11 for 33 in the second half Warriors shooting. Kobe, is that enough in the tank?
Kobe's working against Steven Jackson. And Kobe thought about it going inside.
And act like, I don't want to hear what you got to say. Of course, sometimes the way you approach them has something to do about it, but they should listen.
Kobe got Green out of position. And Kobe with another. And Roney did a good job defensively.
He's dancing.
Up against the young man we were just talking about. And space against Kevin Durant. You can't blame the rook. This season, Texas Big 12 Freshman of the Year, Player of the Year. Final shot time for the Lakers. They've expanded their 8-point halftime lead. At 15, what will it be after 3?
Nice ball, Cheryl. Thank you very much. And, of course, everyone knew about the Derek Fisher problem with his daughter. Not too many people knew about the Carlos. What about this?
Well, you know what? Early in the year, it seemed to me like everyone was on the same page. It was Kobe Bryant who was going to be this year's MVP. As Bryant, right on cue, pulls up and
Moser with 19. And as you said, it's got to be done at the defensive end for the Jazz here.
And they also have perimeter shooters out on the floor, so if they do get it done.
14 rebounds. Crowd on his feet with under 4.5 to go. The Jazz outscoring the Lakers 12-3. And down by 10. That's the closest they have come since they were down by 24 early in the game. And Bryant comes back again.
6:43 remaining in the first quarter with Dallas in front 12-9. Kobe guarded by Howard. Long 2-point jumper for Kobe. That just leaps off that page is the 18 free throw attempts per game. And this year it's been 24 attempts per game. 21 in the game here, 27 in the overtime game between Dallas and LA on the 3rd of March. And Kobe hits again. He's 3 for 3. Trying to swing back in the right direction for Dallas now, having scored 6 straight.
Yeah, they're getting it done on the defensive end, doing a nice job defensively protecting the bucket.
Kobe over Howard. And that settles the Lakers.
talking about that Lakers skid, having lost 3 of 4, a home game to Sacramento. And they've lost road games to New Orleans Friday, Houston Sunday, 104-92. And with Utah looming on the road Thursday, not surprising that this team has
just went right by Ivanovic just to rip through, move that time, beat him on the baseline.
with 4:28 to go. Still plenty of time for Dallas as they trail by 7. Kobe guarded by Howard. Shot clock at 12. No double team yet. Now Avery makes it for it. Gets away from it and scores on the drive.
Minutes this afternoon.
Because one thing you can do, you can trust him on the floor. He does exactly what's asked upon him, and he competes on both ends. So he's a guy that's going to find himself in a lot more fourth quarter.
He's only 6'6". Bryant. Nice goal.
Rick Adelman has gone small. They have 4 3-point shooters on the floor. It's going to be all about the 3-point shot for the Rockets as McGrady attracts the double team coverage.
Jackson 14 points in 13 minutes. Bryant. Pretty shot from Kobe.
A lot strong.
Well, the door is still open. You have to feel the breeze. I can feel it.
Mismatch defensively. Stojakovic. Kobe takes it over Peja. 6-2. Tonight, they're not shooting the ball as well as we've seen in the past. Kobe goes by right for the easy one. 105-97. 7-90. Jason Capono with a half dozen.
And that's what happens to 3-point shooters. They have you running at them, and they just, you think you're running them off the 3, which you are, but putting them into a much higher percentage shot.
Kobe over Parker. And Kobe elevating nicely.
With Mikey Moore. Bryant. Kobe Bryant. Oh, what a move by Bryant.
Which one stays out of foul trouble and who can get off to the good start? I think it's more important for Kaman to get off to the good start because Powell, at All-Star, he knows he can just play his game throughout and not be pressured into doing anything.
Last matchup with the Clippers, and it was without Andrew Bynum. Lakers 113, Clips 95. First one in December, it was with Andrew Bynum, and an easy one. Kobe on the way. And first 2 points.
Athletes, they can't play back-to-back a couple of times. They shouldn't be at this level.
Pau Gasol with just 11th forward off the court and miss. Kobe trying to take it between his legs.
Well, he's really trying to give the crowd something.
Your 3, unbelievable.
What do you think is the next move? What do you want to see the Chargers do in the draft or through free agency to back? So you got to get a little rest.
Well, we got a pretty deep team. So
Corner, and it's a 4-point game.
Muy bueno Beno. And that would be him at his best. And boy, did the Kings need that. Beno Udrich with the long ball.
Artest on Kobe. Bryant stops, pops, good.
I'll tell you what, he's so good he makes you.
And Dallas goes up by 3. The Mavericks have not been a great road team this year. 14-17 on the road. They've been terrific at home. Nice move inside. Nowitzki on the pull-up. Ball tipped. Dirk Nowitzki 4 of 16 from the field. Final minute, third quarter. Bryant spinning. Banks it in.
I think the same exact thing. If you're Phil Jackson, at some point you may want to send somebody to help and get the ball out of the hands of Dirk Nowitzki.
Hig now on Bryant. Bryant to the basket. Puts it in.
Back with his best game against the Clippers. So you hope it's the Clipper game that has given him momentum.
So this is, as you mentioned, an interesting lineup for Portland right now. As Kobe goes baseline, gets the bucket and
he'll get a free.
or 2. Strong team.
That's right.
5 players on the floor for the Lakers right now. The 2 stars, Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol. Then the shooters, Farmar, Vujacic, and there's Kobe with the finish and the foul. I think he's going to think too long about that. He'll be back in a Heat uniform.
Bryant played by Davis. And knocks it down.
There's the jumper. And Webster's short that time as Kobe pulls it down. Now the Lakers had an early lead of 2. That was it. Trying to regain it. Kobe. Little tall hold. Gasol timed it well. Can't say the same for Brisbella. Well, and in a close game, you want to save your timeouts, especially on the road. With the Blazers only have 2 timeouts remaining. The Lakers still have 4 on the board.
Yeah, that's important, especially if you have a young team.
Kobe, a little space. He gets him. 74.
Yeah, that reminds me of the Boston Celtics when Red used to light up the cigar in the third quarter.
I'm just glad there's no balloons in the ceiling tonight. 3 minutes to play. Kobe up against Outlaw. Get into the space. Travis and over Travis. Long three. Yes! Back to 10. 80.
Watch it, but he beats the double team and finds Durant for an open J. In and out. Tipped and Derek Fisher on the fly. Leaving it for Bryant. Single covered. Green is on. He steps back, pumps a three, and 18-10.
You can score on the Lakers, and that's what the Sonics are going to have to do. They're going to have to aggressively look to push the ball every time they get their hands on it.
Kobe right flank in front of the Laker bench. Picked up by Gelaball, a step back, and he hits coming off the bench.
Gelaball saying, I'm coming at you, Kobe. You know, if I can't stop you, somebody's going to have to stop me, and that's kind of the attitude you have to have against the Lakers. You've got to be able to score against Bryant and company. Jeff Green, good defense.
Not making that shot. Just take the ball down, run somebody over, get to the rim.
Lakers with 10 points in the paint, and there's Kobe going over there. Mass exodus, and today, Eddie, Kurt Thomas was traded from the Sonics to the San Antonio Spurs.
Dirty Kurt.
And there goes.
Go under, or you're going to go around, and Farmer is going to get whooped if he continues to play it that way.
The Lakers have DJ Benga into the lineup. He's a 7-foot native of Congo who's in there, and there. Timing by Phil Jackson as Shaq gets a free throw to go.
Again, they have no answer for him down low. I mean, Bynum, he's going to give him some help, but they have no answer.
Kobe double, triple pumping. I mean, Bell was right on it. He's enough. Tom Delnos, their statistician, pointed out the Lakers have no second chance points thus far.
Yeah, and that's huge. And that's what I talked about in terms of eating up space.
Here they go. Last shot of the quarter.
They can shoot a jump.
Bryant goes in. Oh.
So that just shouldn't. The team's going to have a tough time dealing with that, and he's going to find himself getting a lot more open shots.
There's an 11-3 run. It's extended back to the 3:27 elapsed time of this game. Kobe outside against Roger Bell. Kobe looks off. Tell you what, David Guthrie got knocked into the crowd as the big guy went for it. Good hustle by Shaquille O'Neal. Be 36 years old on March 6th. Here's Bryant backing in now on Roger Bell. 8 on the shot clock, approaching a minute left in the third. Kobe is just the leader. Nash is in for the stretch run. Kobe Bryant, 32 points. 1 point behind Stoudemire's 33. Shaq comes out on Kobe. Trying to get the ball out of his hands. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Kobe got to make something happen. He does.
They know Steve Nash is going to look to score. You got to come off and help.
8 points for the Diesel. Off it goes to Gasol. Brings it out now. Kobe's going to try to take over this ball game. That's a 3, and he's capable. And last 6 points have been scored by Shaquille O'Neal. It's a 1-point game. So the Diesel is powering up. Here is Kobe Bryant. Wow. The Suns. Kobe has 11 points in this quarter. 2-point
He's going to the hole. I don't believe he's going to take it. He did take it. Well,
loose ball. They have to fight for it, but Kobe's got it. Kobe going behind his back, working out Joe Johnson. Kobe spinning. Kobe going up and scoring. Rebound to the Lakers. LA is out rebounding Atlanta 21-12 after the Hawks dominated the glass against LA at Phillips. Kobe for 3. You got Sacramento tomorrow night.
Yeah, you do.
You got to get your wits back about you, get back to business here.
I think the biggest thing is right now, get some continuity. You wish my baby could be out here playing with these guys, even if this is a blowout, which it is so far. But now he's out, not in there. He's not getting a chance to get used to these guys, but guys who are here got to get a chance to get it done.
Before the Lester Thompson has stepped tonight. 3-pointer missed by Marco. Kobe Bryant trying to break down Minnesota's defense. Buckner sticking with him, but he gets by
Back buckets, has not played the last 3 games and has not played since February 4th when the Timberwolves took on the Houston Rockets.
You know how hard what he's doing right now is? I mean, just being able to come in, not play any minutes, and be able to knock shots down in the NBA.
Kobe for 3 and he's fouled. Kobe Bryant.
He's made a ton of shots, not been a lot of fouls being called.
Bounce is Farmar. Bryant. What's Jared Dudley think? Hanging in here. They're now 6-back instead of being 10. Luke Walton, some key minutes here with Bryant and the 2-core in there. Bryant, oh my goodness. Cats have them right back in the hunt. They're 7 down. Walton takes Richardson to the rack. To Turiaf. How can Bryant stop the bleeding? Here he is. Oh, wow. Gasol out front. Across it goes to Fisher for 2. Doesn't go. Dudley bats the rebound out, but there to get it is Walton. Kobe's back on the floor. Time to decide here for the Lakers, and Kobe takes it to the rack.
Nice bounce back by Miami. Tied at 10.
Yeah, I like this up-tempo play because Marion playing with energy, he is going to increase your fast break potential.
He says he's made his last 4 field goals, and Wade now leads all scorers in the game with 11.
Hey, you better be alive on the break here right now because John Marion is looking to pass the ball. He's been in a system where everybody gives it up and then you get it back. So he's accustomed. So when you run hard, do not lose sight of the ball.
Ricky Davis waiting for the stab, the jab, and Kobe with the dagger. More moves by Miami. They're one of the teams looking for veteran point guards. Be interested in Jay Will. Bryant missed 3. Odom keeps it alive and has a double-double now.
Well, you have Ricky Davis will be a free agent, and then also Jason Williams. Good point, Mike.
Bryant sees right.
He's with him.
So
Sonic will get it in. Kobe has been shooting lights out despite the fact that
in the NBA, you see a guy like T. Lue come and lay up, going full speed. You would think everybody would jump at it because he can pass the ball and make plays. Everybody just stayed home and he laid it up.
Hawks have come back to tie the game at 24. We are under a minute in the opening quarter. Kobe took a peek at that shot clock and drills it.
The guy got hard. Didn't care about the play. Just wanted to take a jump shot because he felt comfortable hitting it.
Atlanta by 2, 91-89. Here's Kobe. He drives it and scores it to tie.
Toronto game, Haywood shot way off. And they're playing full body time. This is like 9 a.m. for them.
Yeah, you got to get yourself adjusted. But keep in mind, when you were, 12, 13 years old, you'd get up at 8 or 9 in the morning and play ball then anyway. Of course, these guys are a little older than that.
Yeah. They have a little more incentive.
Yeah, a little more incentive, I'd say.
Bryant, what a shot. He had Steve.
Rebound to Los Angeles.
They got rebounded Washington 11-5, and the Wizards just 4 of 15 from the field. 9 in Chicago, 9 NBA titles, 6 with the Bulls, 3 in LA. And the 6th winningest coach in history. In fact, he passed Dick Motta in December. Wow.
Left shoulder, and he saw Jameson cutting, led him beautifully.
A version of Eddie Jordan's Princeton-style offense, very deliberate, a lot of backdoor cuts. And the Wizards have become rather proficient at those. Kobe pulls up on Karan. That's absolutely off a little bit on his jump shooting, which normally is extremely accurate.
Well, that time the shot was a second choice, really. He was looking to hit Sangala, but that passing lane wasn't there.
Scored a field goal, and Kobe scores again.
Last year was 45, this year 35. I'm thinking, well, Gilbert hasn't played at all. That's good for at least 10 40-point games. It would be right up to where it was last year.
You would think so. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, they just don't come in. Antoine Jameson knocks one in. Antoine with 21 points and 10 rebounds, so another double-double for Antoine Jameson, and that is his 27th double-double on the season, the 207th of his career.
Delfino has it crawl over the glass. It'll go to Sasha. So the reserves out there looking for early offense. Sasha leaving it off. I didn't think he wanted anything to do with Chris Bosh.
That was a wise decision by Sasha.
Good, intelligent play, Sasha. Get it out of there. Instead of 10 on the shot clock. Isolation, Kobe with Delfino. Up and over Delfino. He's got it. 9-0 run. The Lakers looked a little bit out of sync when they came down with it, like they were a little gassed.
But again, if you're going to make passes, don't always just hold the ball over your head. Get it in a triple threat position and make the defender bring his hands down. Then if you want to throw it over the top, you can.
6 on the shot clock for Kobe. Knocked away by Delfino. Fall away in the corner. Do you believe this guy gets the triple? 83-77 Lakers. We got Delfino, Juan Dixon, Capono, and Nesterovich and Bargnani. Benga out there for the Lakers now with Sasha, Jordan Farmar, Kobe, and Vladimir Radmanovich. Kobe held up. Delfino couldn't hold him down, though, could he? Lakers 85-79.
Paid a severe price.
Well, that's a cardinal sin. A little more than 2 gone. Kobe about 4 feet beyond the arc.
Clock issues.
Not anymore. Right to the hole. The two-hander. Kobe dunks it home. Lakers. The Lakers can take it down to the 4-minute mark. They still have a double-figure lead at a dozen. 106-94. Kobe, left side's got a little space against Parker. Goes hard. Goes to the rack. Kobe on.
Kobe the other way for L.A. Kobe line drives it home. 15 for the Pistons.
Well, the Lakers are playing really tight defensively and playing passing lanes. So if you're the Pistons, you're going to be sharper in your cuts. Your passes are going to have a little bit more steam on them. And you're certainly going to have to be sure when you get the basketball up. Otherwise, it'll be deflected or flat out intercepted.
Kobe Bryant with the drive and the reverse. Does a good job, forces a tough fall away that wouldn't fall. Kobe Bryant hangs and hits.
Right now, and the Lakers way up in free throw attempts, but they've got to put it aside and deal with themselves right now. Turn their intensity back up on this and help each other out both sides of the floor.
Kobe Bryant. And now Rodney's in double digits. As the free throws fell at 77-74. Kobe Bryant, dog, turns and forces and fills it up. That matchup, and Tayshaun made it happen. He has scored 17. We're even at 81.
Well, the Lakers that time left Radmanovich on an island. They didn't help him. They didn't double him. Tayshaun Prince was able to score.
Kobe Bryant up gunning from the way.
Out of his hand, you could see it was going to be wide left. So the Lakers have the make by pitch, lead by 5 on the spin. Beautiful footwork. Kobe! 1-6.
Pass reception and caused the turnover.
Next with 3 in double figures, including that young man, David Lee. Lakers have 2 in double figures. 10 for Kwame, 10 for Pitch. Kobe stuck on 4. And this time, that was the first. By far their best player. Defensively, David Lee gets a lot of minutes now. Kobe gets the quick release 3 before Richardson.
Well, with LeBron James and the Cavs, he's a guy that's a natural scoring too, that's being asked to play the point guard position. So it's a tougher job for Larry Hughes.
Shot clock winding down. Newell does a good job right on Bryant. He still puts it in. Lakers by 2. Bryant to the glass, left-handed. Vujicic. Now James on Bryant, so they do guard each other once in a while. Bryant, and there, David Jones getting the rule from Tony Brothers. Very appreciative of the fine officiating.
Tell me he knew that rule, though, after being in the league this long. Please tell me he knows that rule.
Bryant drives inside and left the layup.
Shield and finishes over good.
Lakers have outscored the Cavs 9-2 to begin this period. Larry Hughes does a good job staying in front of Bryant. Makes him take a tough shot. And as you said earlier, Jeff, he's not shot well from three-point range this season. Just 29%.
And he's off left to right some instead of just missing short and long.
Get the call.
16 points in that first quarter the other night to set the tone. Derek Fisher is one of the truly great professionals we have in this league.
Here's a great matchup. Kobe Bryant against Bruce Bowen, and Bryant just conference. Kobe Bryant, of course, will start in the backcourt for the West. And here come the Spurs. Michael Finley is shooting them back into the game.
You think a guy gets tired of going to the All-Star game like 10, 12 times?
Well, Rasheed Wallace said, now that's a different breed of cat, but Rasheed Wallace said he'd rather stay home and rest for a few days. But it sounds like just about everybody's honored to go. When you think of how many good teams there are in the West and only 12 guys going, there need to be some awfully good players left out of the All-Star game this year.
On Wafer, remember, former Laker?
He's a volume guy.
He can get the shots up in a hurry.
Comes out on Kobe. Like, what do you mean, Willis?
And Kobe falls away. Lane, Luke, and Jordan. One defender defended both.
Use some clock as well.
Block.
Kobe gets to three. Stoudemire, rebounded by Odom. Kobe with just 2 shot attempts the last 11 minutes, and not looking at all. He was waiting for his teammates to move down court at that time. He was able to get the step for Marion, along with 13 rebounds. And Phoenix back up to a 20-point lead. Here is Bryant able to split his way through.
Yeah, this is what Mike D'Antoni's concerned about. If his rebounds. Here's Kobe across midcourt, trying to cross over and work on the Brown screen. Instead, he'll just pull up on the
to rediscover their identity. The Sonics' identity really is that of a running team. They do much better in the open court. They make a lot fewer mistakes. We hear a lot less from you about turns because they're hoops.
On the wing, it's Odom. Angles baseline beneath the rim. Reverses it outside to Kobe Bryant. Hesitates, fires and hits. Kobe with 5 minutes remaining in the second. Wally hits his second three. Now Kobe Bryant goes to work.
Well, you know what that means to Kobe.
Coming back.
8 in the quarter. And how about this for a quote? Violent Scott said, I'd like to be Jerry Sloan and have the same kind of run he had with Stockton and Malone, with Chris Paul and David West. They had 19 straight years of making the playoffs. And Kobe Bryant says, well,
go in the way he's played tonight.
The night that he's had, that's a tough pair of free throws that don't go in.
The other way forward, Bryant goes to work. Jeff Green's been pretty capable tonight on Kobe, forcing him to shoot jumpers. The fade on this one, though, and bank it in through the wickets. Drives into the lane, on balance. Bank, no. Rebound tip. Kobe's got it. Lakers trail by 2. Here comes Kobe sidewinding into front court. Quick burst of speed, pull-up jumper, bang! And the score was tied so many times before. But the Sonics hope to disrupt that now with Walton to bring it in bounds. No pressure on the inbounds. Kobe comes right to it, gets it cleanly with Green outside on the island between the rings. 13 seconds remaining in the ball game. Crouching in defense, they flatten it out, spread the court.
I think you have to go at Kobe. You can't let him come to you.
Got it! Kobe Bryant going to his left. Drills and
tried to go in.
Well, he got tapped.
Inside of 4:05 and counting. Kobe all the way to the hole. The high percentage look. That stops.
He continues with that confident shooting. Long ball, nothing but box.
One thing we've seen in his run for the Lakers, a lot of ball movement. Kobe back on, but he coaches will say something about that when they get to the break.
The break? I'm saying something about it right now.
Now Kobe, no help on that side. Underneath on the reverse. You could see it coming. We had a good angle on that.
Well, I mean, as a player, you just don't like to have 4 days off unless you're hurt and you need those recovery days. But you really get out of sync in 4 days.
Kobe, right by Mo Peterson. Made it look easy. And it's a triple. And making a deuce rather for Chris Paul. So Paul is on the board.
Shows you how good he is. I mean, he just calmly goes about the business of trying to settle his team down.
Kobe. Could have been 5. Paul.
Yeah, it's a 7-point game now.
Yeah, all of a sudden from 19 down to 7. 11 to break. Lakers looking for the first points of the second half. A triple. Kobe, he does it to the one guy. the shooter.
Yeah, you have to make him make that extra pass.
Lakers still by a dozen. So Stojakovic has 7. Kobe wanted to go for the pitch. It scored at 3. And over Peterson. Kobe! Man, oh man, that was a challenge. 70.
And Odom boards. Lakers are actually 4th in field goal defense, team shooting only 44% against the Lakers. Meanwhile, the Lakers are the 3rd most proficient offensive team in the league, better than 107 a game. Bryant against Miller. Pump fake, Mike didn't bite. And go. Lakers in New Orleans tomorrow night. Bryant and Odom grabs the rebound.
And Mike's going to get, when he starts hitting that 16, 17-footer, and people are going to have to really go belly to belly. I don't think you can guard him belly to belly. It's kind of like a Tony Parker thing. You're going to have to give Mike room and just pick your poison.
Bryant with the fadeaway. And you get him and Mike Conley, Hakeem Warwick, Kyle Lowry.
Well, it's a team that can bounce back, Pete, because I think they get along for each other to succeed. You know, when you come off a game like this, it's probably good to take a day off and hit the road.
Sideline. So the turnover for the Pacers is their 3rd. Kobe found space over Granger. He's got his first. He comes last though.
Basket here, and the Pacers need a timeout.
Kobe weaving his way. And Luke on the run out. Carrying it again. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Kobe up against Dunleavy. And better off again. I like.
Not shy away and be intimidated. We have to take it to the rim. Joel, Stu, back to you guys.
Well, the defense of the 76ers, you're right. The reason they're only a game out of the last playoff spot in the East. 6th in the NBA coming in, only giving up 94 a game. Kobe blows right by Willie Green with a reverse dunk.
Well, you know, to attack Angelo, you can't settle for fall-away jumpers. You have to attack him in the post.
Kobe on the fall-away and the rainbow.
33 and counting for Paul Pierce.
On the attack, he's just settling the jumper there. 3+ to play.
So what else?
Kobe. The guy is incredible.
How many people are in the band?
5. Cinco, I got that.
He goes from Ice Cube to Maroon 5. That's impressive.
I have eclectic taste.
Kobe Bryant fires away and nails it. Make a difference on both ends of the floor, and that's his mindset.
5 to shoot. Bryant hits a three as he misses both free throws. And here's a smattering of boos as free throw shooting continues to be a problem.
Jones on Kobe. Kobe posted up now. Kobe 6'2", 6'6". Jones 6'2".
Bryant looking, try to draw a foul. And still, you can tell right from when it first happened, the Lakers don't want to trade him. And why should they want to trade him? Bryant knocks it down. He still has.
Jeffries all over Kobe now. Previously forced an air ball. Mixed with some intensity on the D.
Here's the reason why Isaiah Thomas signed Jared Jeffries, his ability to defend. They have at least 6 points, 10 rebounds. Crowd chanting defense. Bryant again. Tell you what, Lakers just 43%. Lakers one of the best shooting teams in the league at 47. After that first quarter, and then parts of the third, Knicks have done a better job defensively. But they're still down by 12. Bryant falling away, puts it in. Kobe right here. They love him. They think he's going to be a very good player. Crawford harassing him. Fisher's in the game now with Critton. Bynum also back in. Bryant, head fake, trying to find some room. Puts it in. Oh, what a tough shot.
Looking to match that right here. Shot clock is becoming an issue.
Kobe with space against Carney. And Talking about the surprising start of the Lakers, the second in the Pacific Division. Bryant draws contact. Yep.
Unbelievable God-given talent. You know, I played against both of them, and they both gave me fits. If I had to pick one, I would go with number 23 just because I think he had the total package.
Odom is 5 for 5. He has 10 points. Hughes rebounded by Odom. Fisher got out a switch by James.
Talk about talented players. Lamar Odom is a talented player. This guy can score. He can get you 20 a night, get you 10, 11 rebounds a night. When he was in Miami, you really saw this guy blossom and move to a different level as a basketball player.
All right, here is Bryant to the fadeaway play.
I think Odom's first shot was more of a heat check. 7 of 8 in that first half.
Phil Jackson has Bynum with Radmanovich and Odom on the front line. Bryant and Fisher at the guards. They clear it out. Kobe, yes.
Third whistle is what Phil Robinson said. Lakers take it across. No harm, no foul. Bryant posting. Heinrich steps away. Bryant.
Over Bynum. And he is short as Kobe kept it away from Ross, tapped it up to Luke. He wanted to get there, but good job by Brevin Knight to get back in time. Kobe over Ross. If you want to watch in the NBA, it's going to be on ESPN, and that is Detroit at Boston. That'll be a good test for the Boston Celtics. So the Lakers on a roll, up by a dozen. Kobe got Mobley out of position, had him going every which way, didn't he?
And Andrew Bynum returned.
Kobe, long three. Like a layup.
Absolutely, and this is the kind of thing Don Nelson will do. When he sees a matchup or an opportunity to give a player a chance to succeed, he'll try to do it.
And I'll tell you another thing, as an ex-player, if you play well, you'll get more minutes, and if you keep playing well, you'll stay on the floor. It's up to you.
Peter stayed down nicely. Kobe still elevating, and that's how good he is. Both teams are now shooting 38% from the field. Kobe down the lane with 11 points. Kobe's starting to feel it.
Lakers with a 67-63 lead. Bryant played by Bowen. And Kobe able to hit. Spurs didn't come from behind, had the lead briefly. Lakers now up by 6 with 5.5 to play in the fourth. Derek Fisher has returned. Here's Kobe Bryant for 3. And
he doesn't like those angles at the top.
Just under 2 minutes remaining in the fourth. Lakers trying to hold on for a 4th straight win. Shot clock down to 2. Bryant, yes.
Just stared down the shot clock right here.
A double-double. That's his 10th board to go along with 11 points. Kobe wanted it. It'll go to the opposite side.
See how far that pass traveled on the other side?
Kobe with Baron Davis. Baron the reach. Didn't make any difference.
I think that's a nice way of putting it without saying my team can't defend.
Well, here they are on defense, and they have made a tangible improvement. Bryant knocks it down, and enough.
Kobe Bryant. The finger roll is in, the first make of the night in just 21 minutes. The first time this year, Pete, I think that the effort and the fight that we've come to.
Way to get hurt, isn't it? And had to miss the season.
Yeah, especially
snow burning during the All-Star break.
Especially when it costs you $500,000. Kobe Bryant. It's Buckner in the air, throws it up somehow.
Which is what Dwight Howard just showed. Or Andrew Bynum will go to the front of the rim, and he should be there for offensive putback.
Kobe cleans up. Right, and that's without Dwight Howard. And Nelson's been to the bench. Dolan's been a pick-me-up for them. In fact, he's got 4 points in 4 minutes. Kobe, the distance, and he'll go to the line looking for the three-point play. Brian Cook, open look.
Well,
5-point lead, 10 straight makes.
13-point lead for the Lakers at one point. Make it 12. Now down by 5.
Kobe held. Doesn't make any difference. Nelson, a break for the Lakers. So they're now 0 for 7.
You got to talk on that play. You just can't assume that your teammate is going to do that.
What a spin. Footwork by Kobe is rewarded. On the finger. 18 minutes tonight. Kobe wants it against Mo. Over Evans. The answer, yes! Tie in just 14 minutes. So Dion Dooling averages only 5 a game. Way above that. Now Andrew Bynum. Inside, outside. Will it go back inside? Kobe up against Mobley. Trying to create some space on the spin and fall away. What a play!
Hometown Utah Jazz meeting for the second time this season. The Lakers winning in Los Angeles about a month ago. 2 big stories tonight. One is the return of Derek Fisher, who's got the ball now, and as you just heard, was booed heavily here by the fans in Salt Lake City. The other story, the injuries for the Jazz. Carlos Boozer, a sprained ankle. Mehmet Okur, back spasms, both inactive tonight.
This is a shot. Now this is the second time that Brewer has come at an angle, and he does not bank it off the board. See, he's taken Derek Fisher off the dribble at ease, but then even the second unit, does not matter who guards him.
Kobe for 3 with a rebound for the Lakers.
And now Utah's got to say, hey, let's just take care of things here right now.
Oh, boy. There he goes. He's putting time on him. 13 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, 3 steals at halftime. Now Brewer on Kobe. Fade away. Got it.
Part of it is turnovers. Part of it is the speed and quickness of Denver getting inside. The Lakers have to protect the paint.
Final half minute. No fouls to give.
He just needs some good things to happen. He's too good a player to be struggling in the things he's doing right now. So they're going to run him in the post now because they're trying to hide Anthony Carter on him in the post. Luke Walton has such an advantage.
And Kobe picked up by Kenyon Martin. First time that Martin has defended Kobe. Of the 2 3-pointers that Damian Wilkins had, some of the difference.
Sonics averaging 100 a game. 105. The Lakers are 4th. Omari getting into the paint. Never left after he fell down. So a 2-point lead for the Sonics in 14. He averages 16 a game. Kobe, long run. He gets the lead by 2. It was short. Glanced off the front of the rim. Now Kobe on a little stutter step. Backspace. Burn green. That's tough. Again for a rook.
Get good at his basketball.
Kobe off the rub by Bynum. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Kobe got Carter out of position. Right around bench with the left hand. Williams. 24. 1 off his average for Richard Jefferson. Kobe just 3 for 16. Then he warm up. Sasha got Carter out of position. Kobe right by the right. And the finger roll. 8 of 9. Kobe just 4 of 17.
I'll run the same kind of a set. Wait for Jason Kidd to come help and give it to Kidd.
Kobe underneath. Rolls it across. Odom, Sasha, Kobe, and Fish. Ray Campbell.
Now they got Jason Kidd on it.
Kobe for 3. Yes!
Well, the Lakers now have decided they're going to go small. So Turiev is going to be, in essence, the center.
Kobe. If you had a son who played for the Lakers, who would you root for, Lakers Celtics?
I'm not answering that question.
The building is alive, and Kobe.
Tonight we talked about it a lot, and again tonight. But people have to understand that in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you're seeing one of the top 10, if not top 5, greatest players of all time, one of the best 3 centers of all time. He was a Buck. He's here. He's a land of the Giants.
The Bucks trailed by 11 in the first quarter. Game tied, 20 seconds remaining in the third.
Maybe in a zone. We'll see.
Oh my, Kobe Bryant.
He's a solid passer, but he's a scorer. And you've got to pay attention to him.
Whereas Deron Williams on Saturday night, passer first.
Well, he was having a bad game, so you don't have to worry about him defensively.
Bynum.
Good defense. I mean, he shut him off.
And he still got there.
It's Kobe Bryant. Was arriving, doing a very good job to knock it down. And he's played very well off the bench here with 10 points.
10 points. That's his 5th double-figure game of the year. And Bryant, Danny Granger with 13 first-half points. And it's a 2-point Lakers lead. And you can understand why the Smush Parker experiment went bye-bye. They knew they had a good one in Farmar as Kobe. 5-point Lakers lead with 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter. With Stacey Pates and Quinn Buckner, our entire FSN Indiana crew, I'm Kristen Airy. Long three. An injury in the final seconds of the game on Saturday when Jason Hart of the Utah Jazz ran into him, and Bryant again.
17 on the shot clock. Ben Wallace staying around the rim. Kobe off the glass, goes to the line, looks
for their game against the Clippers on Wednesday. A bad situation for the Knicks. He apologized to his teammates, but his teammates not happy with what happened.
Particularly by another teammate. If you're a professional and you want to win and turn things around, you're going to make an extra effort to do the right thing. But this team, this bench has played great for the LA Lakers.
Shot clock at 7. Bryant, it's good. Bryant. He struggled shooting all night. Jordan Farmar has played a terrific game, especially here in the fourth quarter. Bryant hits a three.
McGrady penetrates and draws the second defender. The foremen for the Rockets are going to be the ones that are open, and Rafer Alston, the point guard. So those two positions, 1 and 4, have got to make.
And Kobe Bryant finally on the scorecard. 9% from the field.
He's also adjusting to reduced minutes, so it leads to less offensive opportunities, which naturally is going to put a guy in a less confident position.
Kobe Bryant probing that defense. Underneath comes out on the other side. Kobe firing. Oh, he is nice. Rebounded by Bryant. Walton all the way to the cup and kicks it out now to Bryant. Bryant lets it fly and he finds the...
Back at the defensive end. Now he's been involved. Now it's going to be Kobe. And Kobe on it in overtime. Icing across to Roning. No, the Lakers will bring it back out. Lamar wanted it inside because he was available. You don't need to foul this late. So the Lakers beating Minnesota, a team they took 3 out of 4 from last season. It's their 4th straight win over the Wolves here at Staples. 2 on the shot clock and 3 all the way up to 9 per contest. So the largest increase in the NBA. Kobe. It's the youngster Ronnie Brewer. Baseline available. Bangs his way home. 13 for Kirilenko. Lakers 7 up inside of 4. Almost ran into each other. Still 10 on the shot clock. Kobe sizing up Brewer. Brewer with the reach. And Kobe slices his way through the...
Fresh 24 for the Suns.
Now they didn't make the hit, but the passing is good.
Raja Bell, it's not there. They're getting good looks. They're just not dropping.
Well, that's their game. They'll go 2 and 3 extra passes to free up a man.
He's Walton with a nice speed, but Kwame Brown could not get a shot off.
Now you got to do something over there. Either set a screen or post up.
Kobe getting booed as he touches the ball. Buries it through.
We told you early in the game. If you notice they had that break going, that both corners were covered. You take it in, and then nothing, kick it right to the corner, and you're wide open.
Tough pull-up drops for Kobe Bryant.
Picked up by Alston in terrific shape, as we talked about before. They go 3-on-3 the other way. Alston off to McGrady, who misses over the defensive wall. Kobe has started 0-2. Daddy is on him.
The last time,
their way all over the NBA.
and they're going to continue to get better offensively as the year goes on. Right now, they're not into a great rhythm. You would have to expect that. When the game was on the line tonight, Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady really came through for them.
36 for Kobe and 38.